Nothing left to do but throw it over the lance.
Combat Federation presents 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing first, in the blue corner, a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 10 wins and 4 losses. He stands at 180 centimeters tall, weighing in at 66.2 kilograms. Fighting out of London, England, by way of Pakistan, Mehmosh the Renegade Raza! Across the cage, his opponent stands in the red corner, a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 12 wins and 3 losses, standing at 173 centimeters tall, weighing in at 65.9 kilograms, representing underdog team, fighting out of Almaty, Kazakhstan, Nurzhan Akishev! Our referee in charge of the action is Brave's very own Deck Larkin.
Between the limb length and the actual height and their stance, it's quite an advantage. You're going to see him try and use it. He's in a fairly bladed stance. He's going to try and pop in and out, attack those legs, slow his opponent down.
As we know, both fighters as tough as they come. We could see all the makings of an absolute all-out war here at Brave CF62. Both men a little bit tentative to start, just downloading the data, trying to get a read on one another, which is usually indicative of the fact they know how dangerous one another are. Big shot over the top from Raza, wasn't far away. Another big shot over the top, this time from Bizon.
When you face a southpaw, that's your biggest worry, is that right hand.
That's a great point to make, Kirik. Orthodox Raza taking on southpaw Nurzhan Akishev. Southpaws are rare in combat sports, even more so in mixed martial arts.
Mehmosh doing a good job trying to keep his foot in the outside of his opponent's foot and attack that leg.
Oh, again, not far away with that big shot. Nurzhan looks like
back's a little close to the... He's moved away from that fence. Mehmosh momentarily had his back way too close to that fence.
Against somebody who's so dangerous with submissions as Nurzhan Akishev, you don't want to find yourself against the cage and almost inviting the takedown. You want to be in as open as possible, that open forum of the mat. So if he is going to try and take you down, he has to really work for it.
The stance that Mehmosh is in right now, this bladed stance, doesn't make for very quick lateral movement. In order to escape, he's got to go straight back. He needs that room behind him.
Mehmosh needs to be wary of overreaching with the shots a little bit. There's a shot right open up the middle for Mehmosh, whether it be an uppercut, whether it be a front kick. You can see the hands and elbows are somewhat flared from Nurzhan. There's a shot there if he wants it. Nurzhan seems like he's intent on trying to land that big overhand left. Mehmosh Raza trying to throw feints, trying to elicit some sort of a reaction from Nurzhan.
Nurzhan holding back just a little bit, hoping he can counter.
Nurzhan somewhat creeping, trying to push Mehmosh back, maybe trying to set up a takedown. There it is. Big takedown from Nurzhan Akishev. This is exactly where he wants to be, but Mehmosh going for wrist control here.
We have 1 minute and a half. 1 minute and a half, Mehmosh. We have 1 minute and a half. And with a frame in our left hand on his throat.
90 seconds to go in the first round here. Nurzhan Akishev on top.
Mehmosh has a half guard. That can be a little bit of an anchor in this sport. Not necessarily the place you want to be when there's elbows coming down.
Using that frame to work to stand up, please. Using that frame to work to stand. Yes, turn into him. Turn into him. Keep control of that.
I would like to see.
I'd like to see Mehmosh turn those hips in a little bit more, work a knee in, and pop up to standing.
But that's easier said than done when you have Nurzhan Akishev pressuring you against the cage, using it like cheese grater.
Left underhook, left underhook. Yes, use it to stand, use it to stand.
Neither fighter has absorbed
We have 45 seconds.
much damage here, so they will be fresh going in. Just as I say that, Nurzhan Akishev fires off a
And
beautiful
follows it
knee.
up with an elbow to the melon. There we go. Mehmosh beginning that stand-up.
Need to be wary of a guillotine attack here from Nurzhan. You put your head in the wrong position, he will wrap an arm around it and choke you out. Does have 3 wins in his professional career by guillotine. Short elbow coming. Boom! And again, there it is.
Third time.
Hat-trick.
10 seconds, Brave Nation.
Oh, that's a big shot from Nurzhan. Turning it up. Landing big shots in the third, or sorry, in the closing stances of the first round here.
Phenomenal round ending for Nurzhan Akishev.
The only benefit I can feel there from Mehmosh is he knows what Nurzhan Akishev is trying to set up. He knows that he's going to use his strikes to set up the takedown, and he knows that he cannot find himself with his back pressed against the cage. As soon as he feels himself being pressed against the cage, he has to use that lateral movement to escape, has to use that to get away, has to keep the fight in the open forum of the matted area.
His basic strategy is sound. Keep his lead foot on the outside of the southpaw opponent's lead foot. Attack at long range with a side kick. When the opponent starts to get a little bit closer, hop to the outside, kick the calf a little bit, kick the thigh a little bit. When he was doing that, he was relatively successful.
Decky Larkin clearing the cage. Second round here, Nurzhan Akishev versus Mehmosh the Renegade Raza.
Deck's got a camera on. Mehmosh right back where he wants to be. A little bit more aggressive with it though, Phil.
Yeah, that's a great point, Carrick. He's trying to put the fight on Nurzhan Akishev, showing that he's not just going to be a sitting duck for his takedown.
That's right, and it's a great way to make sure he doesn't have his back up against that cage.
If he's the one leading the dance, yep.
Mehmosh always feinting. Feigning with the hips, feigning with the head, feigning with the hands, feigning with his height.
Oh, big left hand there from Nurzhan Akishev. Widened the eyes a little bit of Mehmosh Raza.
And Bizan always throwing bombs. Bizan now responding to his opponent's strategy, trying to move to the outside, throw kind of a Mexican jab, maybe a hook. Come down the middle, maybe an eye poke right there. If there was, it was absolutely accidental.
Yeah, you can see immediately from the reaction of Mehmosh Raza. I still think that the uppercut is there from Mehmosh Raza, or the front kick. I know the front kick is dangerous considering that you could get taken down, but if he were to throw the likes of an uppercut to hook to straight combination, I feel like he would have success with that.
Front kick's absolutely the one that I see as the opening. By the way, Brave Nation, I'm not sure if it made it onto the broadcast, but Mehmosh looked over, hit his fighter's corner, and indicated it was completely an accident. And that was an accident. I will bet my life on it. Back to being a little bit more aggressive.
Difficult to be aggressive, the right side of aggressive without chasing your opponent, isn't it, Kirik? Hard to strike that balance. Again, that left is great for Nurzhan Akishev. Just seems to have found the timing of it.
What you're seeing here, Brave Nation, is the advantage of having your right side forward in a fight. Ordinarily, the hand that lands most readily is your left, which is weaker. Now it's your backhand that can land.
Just glanced with that.
Mehmosh dealing with this with a lot of in and out movement.
Shots blocked on the arm, but we know it. Oh, another big shot with the left. Nice kicks from Mehmosh, but they were landing mostly on the arm. But we know sometimes if you kick hard enough, you can break an arm.
Bombs away, Bizon, about to happen.
Another
Such a beautiful takedown.
Again, not where Mehmosh Raza wants to find himself at all. And this is really where Akishev thrives.
It is, but Mehmosh is doing a much better job of not conceding that top side control.
Trying to stay compact, doesn't want Akishev to get the hooks in.
Brave Nation, if you're wondering why Mehmosh Raza doesn't stand up, there is an incredible amount of downward pressure on him. Pressure's partially off, and here he comes.
Watch out for a knee to the head, potentially here from Akishev.
What you saw there, Brave Nation, was an interpretation of the unified rules. It depends on the commission. In some places, if the hand is simply touching the ground, you can't knee the head. In other places, it cannot be done intentionally.
And also depends, is the hand that's placing down, is it load-bearing? If it's the fingertips, it's not a downed opponent. Hand needs to be flat. The limb needs to be load-bearing, as Decky Larkin has explained to me a number of times. Oh, huge shot from Mehmosh Raza.
He's been holding off on it.
Flash knockdown from Mehmosh. He senses a little bit of blood in the water. He's turning it up.
Mehmosh has got to go.
Oh, how disappointing for Mehmosh. But great acumen from Akishev.
Absolutely brilliant strategy from Akishev. He was out on his feet. He knew his opponent was swarming. Level change, got in on those hips, and boom.
And now Akishev finds himself in the dominant position, landing big strikes. Beautiful fight IQ from Nurzhan Akishev.
Mehmosh up a lot quicker than he was the first time and the second time.
He's doing a good job. He has the hand flat on the ground. Now it's the fingertips, not a downed opponent right now.
Slick little elbow up to the body. Not sure I've seen that in a long, long time.
Here we see some of the action again. I'd love to see that head kick from Mehmosh Raza. It speaks to just how well conditioned Nurzhan Akishev is that he was able to bounce right back up from that.
A lesser fighter. Most of the fighters in this sport would have dropped. That shin to the head as your head is moving forward is as close to a fight-ending strike as you will ever find.
But this is where it becomes interesting. So, oh, that's a beautiful shot the more you see it.
So wonder that eye orbital didn't break.
But this is where it gets interesting, Kirik. So Akishev scored 2 takedowns, one of which Mehmosh was able to get back up. Mehmosh was able to... That
Very
round
good
for
argument
me,
to be made for Mehmosh, the Renegade Raza winning round 2.
I guess that's what I was trying to say in a very roundabout way. Thank you for cutting to the chase, big man.
Mehmosh, although he spent a lot of time being taken down, has a very clear strategy to win this fight.
Oh, he gets dropped. Huge shot from Akishev. Hammer fist being thrown here at nauseam.
I see no intelligent defense yet. I'm not seeing it yet. I think we're down to short time.
Mehmosh gives up his back, but now gets flattened out. Big shots again being landed by Akishev. What a way to open the 3rd round. Does Mehmosh Raza have his faculties about him enough here to defend?
I believe his head is back in the game. We know he's highly conditioned. His body's back in the game. A little bit of a tough position to get out of.
The corner of Nurzhan Akishev calling for shots from this position. It's hard to do when Mehmosh Raza has the hands wrapped up.
Mehmosh very wisely buying himself some time to recover further. He's pinning those gloves to his body. He's got to free that one-on-one.
Needs to be wary of Akishev spinning and taking that other hook. Just as I say, he does so. And this is pick your poison territory for Mehmosh Raza. Do you stay in this position to try and defend the choke, or do you give up the mount and try and work from there, try and shrimp out, reclaim half guard? Nice stock there, that half Nelson from Akishev, just putting pressure on the neck of Mehmosh Raza.
Further tiring his opponent out, cutting down on the directions his opponent can move in.
Essentially three-quarter mounts here being established, being taken by Nurzhan Akishev.
Mehmosh has a beginning of a knee shield in.
Short elbow coming from Nurzhan. Working the body with those elbows, absolutely beautiful work.
This is Bizon time now.
Bees on him. Mehmosh does have an underhook on the right side.
Those push elbows don't hit with as much power, of course, as a standing straight, but they can sometimes more than compensate by their ability to cut.
Mehmosh doing everything he can to try and stand up. Needs to untangle his own leg, though. 2 minutes left to go in the third and final round of what's been a tactical battle between these two competitors. Big elbow right to the side of the head from Akishev.
Vicious pinpoint placement right behind the ear.
Again, it's just solid, methodical pressure, landing enough shots to keep Mehmosh Raza from thinking about the submission attack because he's too preoccupied with the shots being landed.
Shut down any standing attempt too by grabbing that ankle. Working for the back now.
Deep breaths being taken by both men. War of attrition here.
Mehmosh Raza attempted to explode and turn in, was not successful. Attempted to rise, was not successful.
30 seconds, Mehmosh, 30 seconds.
Mehmosh's done a great job here to try and work to his feet. Is a downed opponent due to that flat hand being down. If that came up on the fingertips, he wouldn't be. Trying to roll for a leg is Mehmosh Raza.
Looking for that heel. No inside heel hook now. But even potentially go for a toe hold. He's back to the heel hook. Looking for the back.
Credit to Mehmosh Raza for trying that in the final stanzas, but a very, very dominant round for Nurzhan Akishev. I don't think it would be without an educated guess to say that that's potentially 29-28 Nurzhan Akishev.
I do believe that tonight was about Nurzhan Bizon Akishev. We're going to get a look at some of that in the replay. You saw a clean 1-2. Slight hook, dropped the opponent. Mad dash to the finish now with hammer fist.
Pretty much from there, it was all Nurzhan Akishev.
Most of those are getting through? No. Are some of those getting through? Yes.
Showing again just how well versed he is as a grappler. Dominant positional control, landing enough shots to try and open something up for himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, all three of our judges scored the same, 30-27. It is a unanimous decision. To the red corner, Nurzhan Akishev!
Disappointment writ large on the face of Mehmosh the Renegade Raza. No one can say, though, he didn't give it his all. And here, center stage, receiving the accolades, Nurzhan Akishev. Posing for the photographer, posing for the camera, wearing one very imposing hat, gotta add. And while all that's going on, we're looking at a replay of some of the action. This is where the Renegade had turned it up, caught his opponent with a shin to the head, got just a little overexcited, put on his back, and it went downhill from there. Mehmosh, hard as nails, taking shots with his head against that floor.